Okay, one of the things that has been discussed in the media recently is the notification by the Indian government under Article 370, subsection 3. I just want to state why this is patently unconstitutional. I'm not interested in the politics of it, I'm not interested in the geopolitics of it. What I'm interested in is purely constitutional law, and in this case, it is patently unconstitutional. And to this end, I would like to refer to a judgment by the Indian Supreme Court, which is the State Bank of India versus Santosh Gupta and another. And this judgment by Rohinton Fali Nariman, Justice, under paragraph 13 says very clearly that when it comes to applying the provisions of the Constitution of India, which are not so reflected in the instrument of accession, they cannot be applied without the concurrence of the government of the state, meaning thereby they can only be applied if the state government accepts that they ought to be applied. But that is not all. What it goes on to say is under Article 370, subsection 2, the concurrence of the government of the state given before the Constituent Assembly is convened can only be given effect to if ratified by the Constituent Assembly. By this, they mean the Constituent Assembly of Kashmir. It is absolutely clear that the Constituent Assembly of Kashmir was the Constituent Assembly that had formulated essentially the basic constitution of Kashmir, which is a separate document, also revoked by the Indian government. In this particular case, what is clear is that the government did not have that. There is no state assembly, so I don't even want to get into the controversy of whether a state assembly is equal to a constituent assembly. That is another debate for another time. What we know is that there has been no concurrence by the state government, by the state assembly, and it has to be ratified by that assembly, the legislative and the constituent assembly of Kashmir. Therefore, it is clear to me that if India wants to live up to its promise as a constitutional state and lives up to its promise of the world's largest democracy, it must obey its own constitution, and the Indian Supreme Court, if it sits in judgment fairly, will strike down the Indian government's decision, the hasty decision to try and change the status of Kashmir. Thank you.